Nigerians, I'm sure it is no longer news that we are all in trouble. Accept the fact or leave it. Every time I look at the news to see how our men, our uniform men are being taken down by the now branded prodigal sons, because in line with the rehabilitation and pampering and the romance of the terrorists, the chief of defense staff have given them a new name. So you no longer call them terrorists. They are now the prodigal son who need to be welcomed back whenever they come back home. I think now it is obvious why you cannot touch these terrorists, why you can't kill them, why you cannot defend yourselves against them, like what happened to Sunday Jackson in Adamawa that he was condemned to death from. Now we can understand that they are not just terrorists the way we think. They are not even, they are beyond the prodigal son that the CDS called them. They seem to be national treasury because they are now in charge in a same country. You get the point now. I watch the news every now and then, especially on the platform of the English Alhaji. I see how scores of soldiers go down every day. There is no single day we don't lose our men, our military men, to these prodigal sons. And in the light of this, the number one man in the army, who's supposed to be the father, who's supposed to be the sheet, who's supposed to be angry whenever he lost a soldier, spoke the way we saw our chief of defense staff spoke. In Germany, we know the history of a certain Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler valued the life of one German soldier as equal to 6 million Jews. There was a war between the German soldier and the Jewish soldier, and the Jewish soldier took down some German soldier. And in revenge and in anger, Adolf Hitler said he will take down 6 million Jewish soldier in exchange of one German soldier. That is value. If you take down the life of an American soldier today, we can estimate the collateral damage the other side will record in exchange of one German soldier. We all know the resources America deployed to rescue 2 of their citizens in kidnapper den in Nigeria, all the way from America. That is value. That is where you have pride to wear the uniform of such countries and say, I'm proud to be serving in the army of the United States or a German soldier. But in Nigeria, you are being sacrificed to the terrorists. They do it too, whatever they want, and at the end they are branded, or they are just being tagged the prodigal sons. What a shame. It is obvious, but there is one thing that would have gladdened my heart. If only these terrorists will have a way to kidnap the family of this chief of defense staff, not the extended family, the immediate family, so that he will understand what it means to feel the pain and then still come out to tell us that they should be forgiven. But guys, do you know what? The family of the CDS are not even in Nigeria. They're in America, they're in Germany, they're in China, they're in the UK, protected, where the prodigal sons do not exist. How are we supposed to let this be happening as a people? How? If only I can just wake up tomorrow to hear that they've kidnapped the wife, the son, or the daughter of the CDS, then we can all pray that they alive them, alive the family of the CDS, and then we all will now pray for their forgiveness. We will bring them in and forgive them because they've repented. Where the number one man of the army has become how should I even put it now? No, a sympathizer of the terrorists taking down the lives of your men, and the best you can say is they are one of us, they are Nigerians, in a same clan, in a same nation. By this morning or by now, you should be hearing that the chief of defense staff has either resigned or have been relieved of his duty. He's unfit. He's unfit for that position. Sacrificing if you are still a soldier in the battlefield and you think you are defending your motherland or your fatherland, well, it's up to you. But a war, they say, is enough for the wise. They are now the prodigal son. Don't forget, they are no longer bandits. They are no longer terrorists. They are now the prodigal sons of the Nigerian chief of defense staff. What an embarrassment of a military man. Shame on you, Oga. I pour you speed. Pwah!
This is the worst government